Man, and so on, calls himself wrestling's Man of Steel. So in his mind, Drake Chambers being a hero to these fans is a bit of an insult. But if he wants to make an impression, he's got a real opportunity one-on-one with Drake Chambers, who I believe, other than maybe when he first came into the company...
Drake! I'll tell you how people's exercise in this video.
Get him, Chambers!
Wow. This may be the role of his career.
And just eats a slap to the mouth for it.
Big Euro in retaliation. And this is the newfound aggression of Drake Chambers, going right after wrestling's Man of Steel. And take nothing away from Chris Steeler. That is a man who looks like a prototype of a pro wrestler.
He really does. And you know what? Chris Steeler may have gotten away with that slap in the face a few months ago. But not today, Colin West. Not here on All Access. Not here at the Holy Trinity Church in South River, New Jersey.
I'll tell you what, credit President Dave Swan. If you want a fan base to get into your show, the very first man you put out on there in their account is Drake Chambers. And man, the fans are fired up here in South River, and so is the Dragonborn.
Hey, Chris Steeler asked for this. He is the one that targeted Drake Chambers. He is the one that waited under the ring to attack him. He asked for this, and he is going to have to prove his words or eat them.
Wow. And it seems like Drake Chambers has just fought one dragon after another here in 2016. Pun Superintendent Eric Corvus, after a hellacious set of back-to-back victories against Bose, now up against the tough, strong, enigmatic Chris Steeler, who with one boot has taken advantage here in the early going of this match.
Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from Drake Chambers. Those victories over Bose were some of the most impressive of his career. But Bose is a staple of the UWA Elite. He has been here for years. The majority of the individuals that Drake Chambers has faced off against are UWA for life. But what happened when Gangone, somebody who wasn't a member of UWA Elite, came in? He was able to walk away with a victory. Chris Steeler is also a newcomer. Will Drake Chambers be able to have him scouted? I don't know if he's familiar with him.
I don't know either. It's hard to prepare for a man in a mask.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, that match, but if you remember back against Anthony Gangone had to put both his feet on the ropes to win, but that's what we're talking about here, Eric Corvus. Chris Steeler also absolutely not averse to cheating to win, and that's something that Chambers has to be very, very aware of.
Neither was Bose. Bose was not the type of person that was using dastardly tactics to win. Look what happened in the last match. Bose tried to get a weapon involved, and he paid for it.
He sure did, and I think that is the newfound aggression we're talking about with Drake Chambers, is this mentality of, you know what? Winning is all that matters, and I can please the fans most here by winning at all costs. And you hear these fans, it's a stiff calf kick. Chambers coming to play here, but a big Euro from Chris Steeler puts Chambers back on the mat. And this is not a position you can afford to be in against a man as physically dominant as Chris Steeler.
Now, Colin West, we know for years you've been a huge supporter of Drake Chambers. Do you feel that maybe in this match he might get a little bit in over his head? Chris Steeler has been in control too. Has been in control for a huge chunk of this match. Has he been the one to kind of crack that code of this new attitude of Drake Chambers?
You know, it's an interesting thing when you look at Drake Chambers and the evolution of the Dragon Slayer into the Dragonborn, a little bit more ruthless, a little bit more aggression. But Chris Steeler is a guy who I call he is a tastemaker on the the Indies. He's somebody in independent wrestling that you got to get through at some point. He's one of those guys where if you want to prove that you deserve to be here, that you really are one of the best, you've got to go through guys like Chris Steeler. You got to go through guys like, no apologies necessary, Eric Corbis. You're one of those guys where if a guy wanted to prove his worth, he had to go through you. So if Chambers wants to prove that he really, huge backbreaker. If Chambers wants to prove that this new attitude of his belongs here, that he really has found that code you're talking about, he's going to have to beat guys like Chris Steeler to prove it.
Well, I mean, he's not doing a very good job with that right now. Colin West, too, as he's found himself on the receiving end of several pinfall attempts here. The Dragonborn is gonna have to flame on sooner than later.
Just slaps to the face. And if you're gonna get under the skin of Drake Chambers, that's how you do it. And a duck through. Big lariat. My goodness, both men down center of the ring.
And Chris Steeler giving Drake Chambers the opening that he needed. All he needed was that split second count, almost taking his head off with that clothesline.
But if you notice, the key to Drake Chambers' game, Eric, is separation, creating space to hit those high-impact, high-flying maneuvers. He has not been able to get far enough away from Chris Steeler to have any real impact. But look at Chambers trying to fire himself up. And here he comes.
Up.
Oh, those forearms!
You could feel him from the broadcasting booth.
Oh, and a fourth one, springboard to boot 5. Man, off the ropes, leg lariat, and Steeler is reeling, and finally Chambers has created that separation that we talked about.
We're talking about that opening, that momentum, and that is all that he needed.
Oh!
Shooting star!
Oh, right to the small of the back. Is that enough?
Two.
He's put many men away with that maneuver, but he's usually hit it to the sternum, the solar plexus. Chambers hitting Steeler on his back might have saved Steeler from losing this matchup.
I think he might have messed up that sweet fade with that kick to the head.
That was a sweet fade.
He is going up. We know where this leads, Colin, but so does Chris Steeler having Drake Chambers scouted.
And that's what we've talked about. Oh, what a shot to the gut.
Oh, no.
Steeler, high knee lift, and you know what's coming. Russian leg sweep, beautifully executed. And that is what you were alluding to earlier, Eric. Chambers has not had a great opportunity to study Steeler, but Steeler apparently spent months obsessing over how to beat Drake Chambers.
Well, I mean, if he had access to our social media, he had access to all the UWA Elite footage, even the stuff we don't release. We have tons of stuff on our YouTube channel that's just private, just for our guys. He had access to all of it.
Look at him just shouting down. Oh my goodness. Oh, and he put Steeler on his face. Man.
You're only going to get away with it so
Oh my God. Well, he's dead. My God, what a super kick.
Drake Chambers is not going to be able to taste his dinner later after a super kick like that.
I'm telling you right now, I have not seen such an impactful super kick from a UWA superstar since Drake Chambers.
I think that he might have been out cold for a few seconds there, Colin.
And that begs the question now, with all the talking and all the taunting that Chris Steeler is doing, is it about winning for Steeler, or is it about proving a point?
I think it is 100% about proving a point.
Oh!
Are you kidding me? They're both punch drunk. Oh no.
My goodness. And another reverse of 3. Oh! The last son! That's it! Chambers is done! That's his finishing maneuver. The last son. Steelers got him. pick up the pieces. What a win for Drake Chambers as we head towards the Gold Rush Supercard. Until next week's All Access, for Eric Corbus, I'm Colin West. Drake Chambers picking up a big victory this week.